Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello grade 2s and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is uses of energy and revision. Before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So let's take our sanitizer and rub our hands. Remember, if you don't have sanitizer, that's okay. You can use soap and water. Just make sure that you run your hands under the tap for 30 seconds. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we're going to be doing suffix, computation, and money. Let's start our lesson today, boys and girls, by going to page 6. On page 6, we are going to be doing the suffix. Now today, the suffix is the one that's going to be guiding us on what to do. But before we do that, we need to know what a suffix is. Now a suffix is a syllable added to the end of a word to change its meaning. The other thing we need to know about a suffix is that it cannot stand alone. A suffix is not a word, only a sound. So, if we are going to use two of our most popular suffixes, we have ed, ed, and ing, ing. The rules for these two are actually quite different. When we are using ed, we need to make sure that there is no e at the end. For example, the word wash has no e at the end. So when you say wash plus ed, it changes to washed. But for the word hope, we know that the word hope has a e at the end. And what do? Well, instead of adding another E, we just put the D. So, these are the two rules that you have to remember for ED. You'll be able to do the first part of the exercise by yourself, knowing these rules. Now, the second thing that you need to know for the ing is that we remove the E to add ing. So any word that has an E at the end, we must remove the E and add ing. Now that you know the basic rules, I'm sure you can do number 1 by yourselves. Let's take a look at number 2. For this one, they're asking us to circle the correct spelling. Now this is where it can get a bit tricky, but if you did number 1 correctly, then number 2 will not be hard for you. Let's take a look at the one we're going to do together on the board. Now on the board, I have the first one that is in your booklets. Let's see what it says. Let's read together. I was dash you would call. Now we have three options for spelling. We have hoping, hoping, and hopping. Now, definitely it cannot be hopping because that word is the action of hopping. But it could be these two. How do we know the difference? Well, remember when we were dealing with ing, we said the rule is to remove the e and add ing. So this one goes to the first option of spelling, hoping. That is the one that we have circled. Now let's read it together. I was hoping you would call. So take your time, boys and girls. Go back to the rules with each word that you have done. Don't forget to add it neatly and watch your handwriting as well. I'll see you when you're done after the adverb break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
We continue our lesson today, boys and girls, by going to page 7. On page 7, we are going to be computating. Today, it's all about addition and subtraction. Now, some come in 3s, others are in 2s. And because some are slightly easier than others, I can't help you with the easy ones. But let's take a look at some that we can do together that are kind of hard. Now on the board, I am going to do E and H for you. The first thing we do when we get numbers that are in 3s that may look a little bit difficult is we can rearrange them. Instead of having them horizontally, we can rearrange them vertically. So that's exactly what we have done with E. That way it'll be much easier. So we have now said 20 plus 20 plus 3. And now we can computate. 0 plus 0 will definitely give us 0. And then 0 plus 3 gives us 3. 2 plus 2 gives us 4. So our final answer is 43. Well done, everyone, if you knew what you were doing. Now for the next one, which is H, it's a bit more difficult, but don't worry, I'm going to guide you through it. Now, the first one that we have is 95 minus 25 minus 20. Now the first thing that we have to do is to subtract the 2 on top. These are the two numbers that will help us attract the other ones as well. So we're going to say 5 minus 5. When you have 5 and you take away 5, then you are left with 0. And then you say the number you have minus 0, which means that the number we have is 0 minus 0, and that will be 0. The next one that we have is 9 minus 2. Remember, we're going to start with the top numbers and then we will subtract the last one. Now, if I have 9 and I take away 2, we know that our answer is 7. So we hold on to our 7 and then we say 7 take away 2. I have 7 and I take away 2. My answer is 5. So our final answer is 50. So go ahead, boys and girls, take your time with this one. Make sure that you really count and use your fingers if you need to. Sometimes we have to count backwards for the multiplication, for the subtraction. And then sometimes we have to count forward for the addition. Just make sure that you lay out your work beautifully enough for you to actually do it. Let's now move on to the next page, page 8. On page 8, we're continuing with our mathematics, but this time we're going to be dealing with money. Now, the measurement of money is very important, and it's our job to make sure that we use, or rather know, the coins we need to use to buy. Here we have an exercise that's going to say which Namibian coins will you use? So you have to figure out which coins will actually add up to that amount. Now they've given you an example of 75 cents. That means that we need a 50-cent coin, a 10-cent coin, another 10-cent coin, and then a 5-cent coin. Let's try and do two together on the board. Now the two that we're going to do on the board are G and H. Now we're going to try and break it down so that you can understand. Here are the coins that we're going to be using. And so we're going to try and see which ones will actually add up to our total. We have 65 cents. And in order for us to get there, instead of saying 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 cents, there's an easier way. We take the 50-cent coin, then we say plus 10-cent coins plus 5-cent coin. Altogether, that will definitely give us 65 cents. Let's try the next one, H. This time it's not just cents but dollars as well. So we need to start with the dollars because every time you're adding money, you start with the dollars, physical money. So if we're going to say $3.25 equals 2, we need to start with the dollars. Now, $5 is too big, so we can go ahead and pick 3 $1 coins. 1, 2, 3. So we have our $3, but we still need our 25 cents. Here, it's quite simple. We can use 2 of our 10-cent coins to make 20. 1, 2, and then the last digit is the 5, and we can go ahead and use the 5-cent coin. So this is not actually adding money, it's just to see how many coins we would need to reach the total amount of money. When you're done, I want you to do the next part of your exercise by yourself. That one is pretty easy, and I really want you to try your hardest for all the work today. Have fun, and I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson, and I really hope you had fun. Remember, if you're not sure what to do, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help, but please try and finish your work by yourself. Now that we are done, it is time to sanitize. Sanitizing, boys and girls, helps us to keep safe. So even if we're not in class, you must try and sanitize wherever you go in public. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I wonder where Zoshi is today. I've not seen him. Zoshi, are you around? Oh, there he is. So, from Zoshi and I, we would like to say thank you so much for joining us today, and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.